After 3 years of dating and 3 years of marriage, Lucas Vaughn had long grown sick of me. He dangled divorce over my head like a weapon. He's be forcing me to hand over the runner-up title in the racing championship, the one I'd risked my damn life for, to his latest fling. I didn't hesitate. I signed my name in a flash and divorced his AS on the spot. Later, Lucas showed up with arms full of flowers, waving the ring I'd tossed away like trash, and lit up an entire billboard sea in a flashy bid to beg me to remarry him. Blake Vincent had his people KIL all the lights, wrapped his arm around my waist, and we turned our backs on the spectacle. You dare propose to my wife without checking who the HEL I am first? Oh, you adorable darlings. Love and fortune are heading your way. Hit that like button for cash flowing in like a river, subscribe for romance blooming wild, and ring the bell to flip your life upside down. Blessings and riches to you all, sweeties. In the final lap of the qualifiers, I crashed hard, my race car slamming into the tire wall at over 120 miles per hour, shattering my leg. Lucky for me, they rushed me to the ER in time, and I clung to life. And HELL, I still snagged that runner-up spot. Even laid up in the hospital bed with a busted leg, I was buzzing with excitement, dying to share the good news with my husband, Lucas Vaughn, to tell him I'd brought another glory to his precious club. But what do I see? My so-called husband, Lucas, cuddling up to Tina, celebrating her hot news as the fresh-faced racer who'd won runner-up, complete with race reports. The spot and trophy I'd gambled half my life for were now in Tina's hands, and she hadn't even stepped foot on the track. I waited day after day until my wounds were nearly healed. The cast came off, and I was discharged. But Lucas? Not once did he show his face at the hospital. After getting out, I headed back to the racing club with my bestie, Kendra Tate. Outside Lucas's VIP room, laughter echoed nonstop from inside. Boss Lucas, you swapped Diana Nolan's registration info to Tina's name and handed her the spot? Lucas leisurely sipped his drink. What's she gonna do about it? I point east. She never dares go west. At home, she's more obedient than a damn dog. The crowd erupted in laughter. True that. Everyone in the city knows Diana Nolan cares most about being Mrs. Vaughn. Ha ha. He leaned down to the woman in his lap, smirking as he tried to feed her wine from his mouth. Tina played coy, blushing and batting him away. You're so naughty. Her delicate, pale hand weakly pounded his chest as she half-resisted, half-teased. Mr. Vaughn, stop it. In the end, he fed her the wine mouth to mouth. She pouted, all flirty. Mr. Vaughn, you're so bad. You got me drunk. Now I can't go home. Lucas kissed her cheek. Why go home? Stay with me. It's way better. I stood outside the door, staring at the face I'd once loved with every fiber of my being, clenching and unclenching my fists, feeling like a total fool. Then someone brought it up again. Diana's still injured. She broke her leg fighting for that title. You didn't even visit her in the hospital. Lucas shrugged, his tone casual as HEL. Visit her for what? It's just a broken leg. She's not gonna die. I wasn't dead, but I sure as HEL couldn't live like this anymore. I shoved the door open, and the VIP room went dead silent. I marched over, grabbed the glass in front of Lucas, and splashed it right in his face. He wiped the wine off, his expression turning thunderous. Diana Nolan, there's a limit to your bull's-ite. Tina wriggled free from his arms, fussing over him with tissues, playing the green tea Beitseach card. I'm sorry, Mr. Vaughn, it's all my fault. She must have misunderstood again. She's gonna throw a tantrum at home for sure. I didn't hold back. I grabbed another glass and doused her face too. Lucas exploded, slamming a stack of papers on the table with a boom. You think your leg's broken? Playing the pity card. Looks fine to me. You're full of energy causing chaos. Diana, you got 2 choices. 1, sign this. 2, apologize to Tina. What a joke. The divorce agreement he carried around like pocket change. I skimmed it. Same old crap. Divorce, I walk away with nothing. No share of any assets in his name. Lucas leaned back on the sofa, smug as HEL, lips curled in a mocking grin. He was so damn sure that in the next second, I'd panic, shove the papers away, beg Tina's forgiveness, and fall right back into his palm. Haha, I'd had enough of these bull's H-ite days. Consider my 6 years flushed down the toilet, and I hadn't even trained this dog properly. I snatched a pen and signed without a second thought. Fine. Everyone's here. Witness this. Tomorrow morning, we're hitting the civil affairs office for the divorce. Don't you dare back out. Lucas's eyes locked on my signature, totally caught off guard that I'd actually sign. He froze, then ground his teeth. Divorce it is. Don't make me look down on you even more. Stepping out of the VIP room, Kendra silently gave me a thumbs up, then asked once more, Diana, you really going through with the divorce this time? I stood at the club entrance, eyeing Lucas's car parked side by side with the red sports car. Limited edition, he'd gifted Tina, like they were cozying up together. Lucas always went overboard chasing women. Back when he pursued me, it was flowers and dinners every day, hovering around me nonstop, dying to broadcast it to the world, pulling every stunt to get noticed until he won me over. 3 years dating? 3 years married? He got bored, growing colder by the day. He said he didn't like strong women like me. But damn it, when he chased me, I was already the top female racer and a board member at the club, handling most of the operations single-handedly. In the last 2 years, he got bolder, bringing other women home every few days. I couldn't take it. We fought countless times, and he'd always threatened divorce. But before, I was the one who caved every time. I didn't want to lose him. He knew I wouldn't agree to divorce, so he ramped it up, openly chasing other women right in my face. Flowers, bags, sports cars. Son of a bitch, those were from our marital assets. No way I'd let them profit off that. I pulled the spare key from my bag and hopped into Lucas's car. I calculated the angle and force precisely, answering Kendra with action. A massive crash echoed as I rammed Lucas's car straight into Tina's new sports car, caving in the rear, smashing the front into the wall, basically totaled. Then I tossed the spare key back and walked away. The sun outside was blinding, but it felt like it was exposing the rotten marriage I'd fought to hold on to for years. That evening, Kendra sent me a video. In it, Tina threw herself into Lucas's arms, sobbing hysterically. My car, my car. How did it end up like this? Lucas stood on the steps, smoking with a scowl, clearly having checked the security cams. Oh, she's way out of line, Mr. Vaughn. I don't care about the car, but you gave it to me. I'd only driven it 3 days. Let's call the cops, Mr. Vaughn. Someone muttered nearby, cops probably won't help. She's Mrs. Vaughn. His car is her car. They can't do say shite. Another clucked. She really went for it. Lucas crushed his cigarette butt. Fine. Tomorrow, we're definitely hitting that civil affairs office. I quietly shut off the video and started prepping the docs for the divorce. The next day, I got to the civil affairs office early to wait for Lucas. Seeing him step out of a taxi, I let out an involuntary sigh of relief. Diana Nolan, this is your last chance. I stopped, smirking. To hand over the spot to Tina, apologize to her, and buy her a new car? His face darkened, all self-righteous. Tina's just a fragile girl. I can't let her suffer anymore. Then why make her your side piece? Shouldn't you give her a proper title? I'm doing you a favor. I sneered and headed straight to the counter. Lucas's face turned black as he slammed the divorce agreement and docs on the table. The staff saw our relationship was clearly shattered and didn't waste words. Minutes later, the fresh divorce certificate was in my hand. So quick, Lucas seemed like he hadn't even processed it. He gripped the certificate, knuckles white. This some new cat and mouse game to grab my attention? Let me tell you, it's pointless. Let's see how you clean up this massive mess. In his eyes, my broken leg and month in the hospital were just a pity play for his attention. My push for divorce? Just me, stirring shite. Lucas and I, when did we become this? But I'd made up my mind. No turning back this time. I tossed the wedding ring I'd removed last night back at him and walked away decisively. In the car, I glanced down at my freshly uncasted leg, suddenly feeling so sorry for myself. This qualifier race, if Lucas hadn't downplayed it, urging me to go because it was crucial for the club's rep, I wouldn't have raced. I'd had a cold a few days before, head pounding, popped some meds. Racing puts insane strain on your heart and body. In that state, it was a recipe for disaster. That's why I crashed. But the title I'd risk my life for? Just so he could impress his new side chick. I snapped a pic of the divorce cert and sent it to Kendra. She invited me for a riverside stroll. When I arrived, I realized she'd rounded up a bunch of friends for a motorcycle race. The wide Riverside Boulevard was sparse with people, lined with pricey racing bikes, and the scene was packed with young guys and gals laughing it up. I hesitated. My leg's not fully healed. Who said I could ride? And there were a ton of male racers here. Turns out the rules. Each rider picks a female partner to ride pillion on the bike. Some were already couples, so not many singles left. Kendra pulled me aside, whispering, "What do you think of Blake Vincent? He never shows up when I call, but you're lucky. He's here." A tall guy in racing gear leaned against the river railing, back to me, sunlight glinting off his shoulders, clean, sharp vibe. He turned slowly, and I was stunned. His features hit every mark of my type. Kendra shoved me forward. "Blake, take Diana for a spin." He smiled, eyeing me appraisingly, eyes clear, voice deep and warm. "Sure." Kendra winked at me slyly. "Go get him." Blake pulled out a pink helmet, checked it thoroughly, then helped me put it on, tugging the straps to secure it. Scared? I flashed back. Since getting with Lucas, I'd raced countless times, but he'd never been this tender. He always stood aloof on the VIP stand with other club bosses and elites, pointing and critiquing. He never cared if my gear was checked. He only gave a damn if the title I won was shiny enough to boost his club. My heart softened for a split second. I shook my head. Blake seemed mildly surprised, his tone gentle. "Good, then we can go full throttle. Hold on tight." I knew the speed and power of these bikes. I wrapped my arms around his waist without hesitation. The motorcycle roared to life. Under his loose gear, his waist was solid, abs rock hard, defined as HEL. Unlike his looks, Blake's riding style was aggressive. He blasted past the competition in no time. Hello, listeners. You're tuning into the story at the Three Little Frogs Translation House. I'd always ridden solo before. This was my first time as a passenger in a race. Wind whipped past my ears, his cedar scent strong yet soothing. Blake seemed amused. Relax a bit. Don't tense up so much. I realized my arms were squeezing him like a vice, probably cutting off his air. I knew what he meant, but some weird thought popped up, making me blush as I loosened my grip. A sharp turn ahead, I slammed face first into his back, intimate as HEL. Through his thin shirt, he must have felt my flushed cheeks. As expected, we took first. The prize, a case of beer. I cracked one open, clinking with Blake. Racers don't drink, and my tolerance sucks, but today I was free. High on joy, I chugged the whole can. Big mistake. The world spun, and Blake caught me as I swayed. Kendra sighed dramatically. Blake, Diana's not great with booze. Mind taking her home? I tilted my drunk head toward Blake, catching his gaze. It was so tender, so focused. Sure. His voice was music. My heart melted into a puddle. Lucas once said women like me had zero femininity, just a pretty shell. Open my mouth and I'd scare off any man. These years I'd buried myself in work, proving myself. But all I got was him parading soft, delicate, seductive girls in my face. It'd been ages since anyone looked at me like that. Like I mattered. At the car, I looped my arms around his neck. Tipsy instinct kicking in as I tiptoed to kiss his chin. Blake's jaw tightened. He stone-faced me upstairs. I felt deflated, mocking myself as I bowed my head. Maybe he really was just dropping me off. But as I fumbled drunkenly for my keys, hands shaking, he suddenly pinned me against the door and kissed me. Wild, passionate. Somehow, this kiss didn't feel like a first-time fling. It was like years of pent-up passion exploding in one raw moment. Hello, listeners. You're tuning into the story at the Three Little Frogs Translation House. He kissed fiercely, devouringly, like he wanted to merge me into his bones. In his arms, I heard his heart pounding wildly. I quietly responded with lips and tongue. After that long, possessive kiss, Blake pulled back abruptly, chest heaving, avoiding my eyes as he leaned against the wall, panting. I was dizzy, stumbling as I squinted at him. He was tall, taller than Lucas, slim waist, broad shoulders, endless legs, his face flushed with excitement and restraint, radiating raw masculinity. He was clearly affected by me. I braced one hand on the wall behind him, Cabadon style, trapping him in the tight space. Blake, regretting this? I tiptoed, kissing his still red lips. Blake held his breath, grabbed my keys, unlocked the door, scooped me up, and strode to the bedroom. When I woke, it was bright out. Blake was gone from the bed. Men's stamina is insane. One night of deep, exhausting passion, and I'd slept from yesterday afternoon straight to noon. I dragged my sore body up, stepping out of the bedroom to a rich aroma. A clay pot simmered with fragrant bone soup. The thermal box on the table held light, delicious dishes. All my favorites. The kitchen was spotless, but showed signs of recent use. In my bare-bones setup, he'd whipped up these refined meals. Impressive. I sat, ladling myself a bowl. My empty, hungover stomach warmed with the hot food. Steam rose, misting my eyes uncomfortably. I sipped a spoonful, tears plopping into the bowl. Lucas always bitch-eat about my clumsiness, saying I knew jack about being a proper wife, that his cheating was my fault for failing as a woman. Just a fling with Blake, and for the first time, I felt pampered, cared for. I rested at home another day, regaining my spark, ready for the big stuff. As the club's top racer and board member, I'd poured years into it. Now divorced, I wanted no ties to Lucas. I'd resign, hand over everything properly. I dressed and headed back to the club. Pushing open the VIP door, sure enough, Lucas and his sleazy crew were there. The room tensed at my sight. After a silence, someone chuckled. Boss Lucas, look, your ex-wife's back already? I told you, some play hard to get, but always come crawling. Maybe cut her slack. She was hospitalized alone for so long, tough break, right, boss? Lucas's face was storm dark, eyes mocking. Diana, don't you think it's too late to regret now? From deciding to quit to divorcing to this, just 2 or 3 days. Boss, I'm here to resign. From today, I'm out of the club. No roles, nothing. I slapped a notebook on the table before him. Work details are in here. Arrange a handover. Questions? Call me, but only about the transition. Lucas's face blackened, brows furrowing. Your racer contract's 10 years. Breach means penalties. Didn't read that? My expression stayed cool. I did, but the breach clause assumes the club doesn't violate industry rules or fair business. His brows knit tighter. Someone checked their phone, yelling. Boss, the last race organizers posted an apology on social media, corrected the winners, fined Tina, banned her for 3 years. I'd submitted the complaint docs before coming. I'd dealt with these organizers before. They took it seriously. Relieved it was handled, I skipped wasting time with them and turned to leave. Down the long hall, Lucas's rage echoed, crashing objects. How dare she? Giving her too much face. Get out, all of you, out! Before leaving the club, I hit the bathroom. Emerging, I saw a girl hunched over the sink, dry heaving. I started to ask if she was okay. She looked up, And in the mirror, it was Tina. No wonder she wasn't in the VIP. She saw me too, clutching her chest as she straightened. Following my gaze, Tina glanced at her slightly bulging belly, her tone. Truncated part trans seamlessly. And the sponsorships for the club. The annual funds we never exhausted. She handled it all. I didn't have to lift a finger. What do you do besides blow money everywhere? Are you just useless? Moments later, my phone pinged. I don't know what tricks you pulled to get Blake Vincent to play along in this charade, but I advise you to know your place. Go ask around about the Vincent family's power. A divorced woman like you, secondhand goods don't dream of climbing into the Vincent tree. I shut off my phone. The air was thick. I broke the silence. Blake, thanks for earlier. He leaned over, one hand on my armrest, frowning. Thanks for what? For bailing me out back there. Blake pulled back, annoyed. Someone bullies my girlfriend. I shouldn't protect her. Why thank me? Girlfriend? I turned to him, feeling absurd. These weeks we'd been inseparable. Days out eating, playing. Nights at my place are his endless energy leading to passion every night. But Lucas wasn't wrong. I knew my limits. My family's middle class, parents civil servants, no match for his. Plus, I'm divorced. The Vincent status wasn't something I could touch. Seeing me bow my head silently, Blake's displeasure showed. I thought we were dating. Guess I overthought. He stood, one hand on the armrest, the other tipping my chin to meet his eyes. So tell me, what are we? Few seek buddies. I felt guilty. Blake, don't put it like that. Being with you makes me happy. It's just what? Just that I don't have the strength for another thorny road. With Lucas, his parents opposed me, saw me as a gold digger relying on looks, unworthy of their son. I'd spent ages proving myself. When his mom was sick, I handled everything. Meds, care, staying up late studying recovery tips. But they thought I was faking. 3 years married, his parents barely visited. No wedding ceremony, no dowry. I don't know how I endured. The Vaughns were well off, but peanuts compared to the Vincents, a true powerhouse family. I shook my head. Nothing. It's my issue. Blake's chest heaved, clearly furious. He stared hard but said nothing, releasing me. Seeing him mad, I felt I'd gone too far. I'd known he was the Vincent heir. Every day with him was bliss. If he wanted to extend this happiness forever, maybe. I took a breath, pursed my lips, rephrased to talk it out. My phone rang again. Lucas with a photo. Blake and a stunning young woman facing each other, laughing. She in the latest Chanel, her limited edition bag worth 7 figures. They look perfect. Talent and beauty matched. Go ask around. You'll see Blake Vincent and Kara Hart have been engaged since childhood. Wedding soon. Wake up. You're at best bed warmer material, right? Clinging to hope, I breathed deep. Blake, about Kara Hart? Is the engagement real? Aye. Blake stammered. He didn't deny it outright. My heart sank into icy abyss. Even knowing this romance was doomed, I didn't expect it to end so fast. Tears burst forth. I didn't want him seeing, grabbed my bag, and bolted, head down. Blake, we're done. I didn't go home, crashed at Kendra's for days. Phone off, staring at her ceiling from the bed, mind a mess. Kendra nudged me. No way, that bastard Lucas still gets under your skin? I shook my head. Not him. Yeah, Lucas stirred 0 ripples now. Kendra yelped. Blake made you mad? Impossible. I pulled the blanket over my face. Mad at myself. Mad for caring when it was just physical. Kendra sat on the bed. Diana's secret. Blake fell for you at first sight. Oh. Indifferent. Even a bit annoyed at the secret. Kendra continued. Not the Riverside race. 6 years ago, your college graduation speech. He was invited back. He asked me for your internship details. Planned to confess on your birthday, but Lucas beat him. You posted lovey-dovey stuff daily. It crushed him. He rage quit to abroad. I froze. No way. Why not? You're gorgeous, killer figure, badass racer. You don't know how many crushed on you back then. Pity Lucas swooped in. That pig had no idea the woman he trashed was dream girl to so many, worth cherishing like gold. Kendra yanked the blanket. Diana, these 6 years, he checked in monthly through us. We can vouch. No other women ever. I shook my head. But he's a Vincent heir. Kendra pondered. Heard the Vincents are bold, no nonsense. Blake's known for his word. Why not give yourself a shot? I still shook. He and Kara have an engagement. Kendra paused. She didn't know. Hesitating? What did Blake say? He seemed to explain, but I shut him out. Kendra shoved me. You idiot. Decisive in work, dumb in love. He's not mute. Ask him straight. She pointed out the window. He's downstairs. I bolted up, peering out. Blake's black Bentley. I raced down. Anyway, I needed clarity. Diana. Seeing me, Blake's eyes lit up. He crushed me in a hug. Recalling our times, 6 years felt genuine. Even that first drop-off, his eagerness mixed with clumsiness moment like he'd never been with a woman. After reason returned, I gently pushed. Blake, one question. Is the engagement with Kara real? He paused, serious. It's real, but if I say I have no feelings for her, never liked her, and she feels nothing for me, do you believe? I shook firmly. Every cheating fiancé says that. Lucas probably told his flings he felt nothing for me. Blake smiled helplessly, but held my hand. Diana, give me a chance. Come home with me. I'll prove it. Home? meant the Vincent family estate. At the door, staff bowed respectfully to him. Seeing our linked hands, quick surprise flashes, but no stares. The house was massive. Nearing the inner living area, a butler-like man whispered to Blake. He hesitated, glancing at me. "Diana, wait here a sec." "Okay." He followed the butler. I waited. Then from behind a rockery, a young beauty in a red dress emerged. The photo's Kara Hart. Stunning. Elegant brows, noble air, even prettier in person. Diana Nolan. I nodded. "Hi." Kara's gaze scanned me invasively, clucking. "Damn, you're gorgeous. His eye for people is spot on." I'd thought it through. Engagement real? If no win-win fix, I'd walk. What I wanted, if he offered, was love, marriage, lifelong monogamy. I had my lines. Kara seemed ready to say more when Blake rushed back, pulling me close protectively. "Kara, what'd you say to her?" Kara arched a brow. "Just teasing. No cannibalism here. Relax." Blake stayed wary. "I'll believe you." Kara burst laughing. "Fair. Pining for years, watching her marry another, finally chasing her back. Pampering her makes sense." I eyed Kara suspiciously. Their dynamic was off, not like childhood fiancés. Kara's vibe toward me? Teasing, not hostile. Blake spoke up righteously. "Hello, listeners. You're tuning into the story at the Three Little Frogs translation house. Whoever you fool, I don't care. But hands off Diana. She's a disaster. Dug walls from all my bros. I trust her least." Blake leaned to my ear, whispering, "She's into girls. Don't mind her. She's trouble. Stay away. She's wrecked engagements left and right." "And that first drop-off? Her wall dig started then. I've sworn to win you. Elders quietly approve. So our engagement? Worthless now." Now I believed. Blake snapped his fingers. Staff flooded in with blooms, sunflowers exploding everywhere, fireworks bursting. We were surrounded by a sunflower sea. Blake pulled exquisite box publicly, kneeling one knee, eyes reverent and tender. "Diana Nolan, will you marry me?" In this romantic blaze, a woman resembling Blake 50 to 60% burst through, fist pumping excitedly. "Diana, say yes already! I've waited 6 years. Watched all your races. If my son marries the capital's only female F1 racer, I can brag to my old gals forever. I got Kendra's Vincents are bold and no nonsense, now." I do. I accepted Blake's proposal. With Vincent and Hart elders witnessing, Blake and Kara's engagement dissolved officially. I'd never dreamed the Vincents would accept me so easily. Blake's dad said, "We Vincents trust our son's eyes for brides. Never care about in-laws' wealth. No one's richer than us." The Vincents even flew in an international orthopedic specialist for my leg. No sequelae guaranteed. But Blake's mom, doting, begged me to skip life-risking races. They treated me like family. Night before the wedding, Blake took me to our old school. He pointed. "Right there. You in grad robes, biking one hand, huge sunflower in the other, turning with a smile. From the uniform crowd, I spotted you instantly." Recalling, he nodded at the flower shop across. "Wait, I'll get you another sunflower." I gazed at the starlit campus, envious of the passing students' youth. "Diana, Diana, Diana." A semi-familiar voice behind. It clicked. Lucas. Just months, yet despite his tidy look, exhaustion oozed. Seeing me, tears welled. "Diana, finally found you. Couldn't reach you, but school's where our love started. I knew you'd return." I'd blocked him after those restaurant texts. He presented a ring like treasure, the one I'd worn 3 years. Lucas knelt suddenly, tears streaming. "I'm sorry. I was wrong. So wrong. You're the best. You loved me so much, yet I did those HED things. Diana, remarry me? Back to me. I'll treat you right. No more betrayals." Billboards behind lit. "Diana, I love you," with huge red hearts. 6 years ago, he proposed the same. Who knows how many girls got this show? I glanced at my massive diamond. Lucas's tiny one paled beside it, like my 6 wasted years. Forgettable. "Lucas, you're mistaken. I'm not here for you." Before finishing, billboards snapped off, plunging dark. A voice behind continued. "Diana and I wed tomorrow. You can bless us, of course. Or not. No biggie." Blake, sunflower in hand, arm around my waist, eyes loving. "Proposing to my wife? Ask me yet?" His tone warned. "Want to survive in the capital? Tuck your tail and behave. Don't embarrass yourself before my wife." Lucas froze. Recognizing Blake, fear and despair flooded his eyes. Blake and I walked entwined. Far away, Lucas stood, gazing longingly, regret etched deep. But what's the point? Late love's worth less than weeds. At 6 months pregnant, Blake and I headed for a checkup. Hospital gate. Our car blocked. He looked up. The disheveled, wrinkled shirt man was Lucas. Seeing me lower the window, he lunged. 2 burly guards pinned him. 1 K-I-Siki-E'd him down hard. Lucas crawled, yelling, "Diana, for our years together, say something." "Beg Blake to spare me. I'm going bankrupt." I eyed Blake suspiciously. These months, Vincent's pampered me. Daily with Blake, harmonious family, blissful life. No time for Lucas's drama. Blake shook his head. He approached Lucas, towering like over an ant in dirt. "Overthinking? Cleaning you up? I'd dirty my hands," Lucas gaped. "You know what you did? Why the club's tanking?" Blake signaled guards. 1 BO'd Lucas flying. "Block Blake Vincent's car? Scram!" Our black Bentley sped off, leaving Lucas behind. I learned, after the qualifier's apology, everyone knew Lucas faked Tina's win via me. despising his cheating ethics. Post my exit, veterans quit, sponsors bailed, club nosedive toward bankruptcy. Later, Kendra visited, spilling. Lucas's picky mom fired the maid for sloppiness, forcing pregnant Tina to clean, cook, scrub, including high windows. Tina snapped, fighting back, scratching her lip. Kendra added, learning bankruptcy loomed, Tina secretly aborted the formed fetus, grabbed gifted luxuries, stole a fat stack, and fled. Lucas raged, hunting her. Background check revealed multiple exes she'd milked. He was played. The fool. Of course, Kendra shared his gossip. I listened for laughs. Blake home early post-work. Kendra dipped. Evening, Blake cooked my favorites. I perched on a stool, chatting in the kitchen. His mom passed the door, pouting. Afternoon, Diana's friend visited. Fine. Pregnancy's boring at home, not daily meets. But my rotten son clings to her like glue on return. What's that? Mom who? The daughter-in-law I fought for? No chat time. Blake poked out. Diana's free time's for her husband. Chat with yours if bored. Dad in living room, watching news, chuckled, teasing mom. Jealous of your son at your age? Embarrassing? Got time? Worry Kara more. Her and our second son's decade feud. If not quick, he'll hit 30 single. Baby kicked. I odd. Blake rushed, supporting. Diana, okay? I rubbed my belly, smiling. Fine. Baby's saying hi. The end. Thank you for listening to the story of the Three Little Frogs Translation House. If you enjoyed it, please support us with a like and a subscription to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to get updates as soon as new stories drop. Your support is our biggest motivation for the team.